This is DLFM Online Radio Station Chicago. Dimensión Latina FM Radio TV. Baja nuestra aplicación a través de tu iPhone o Android. Búscanos como Dimela FM. Búscanos en TuneIn Radio como Dimensión Latina FM y visita nuestra página web dimelafm.com.
Today, we are broadcasting live from Dimensyon Latina FM in Chicago. And I have a wonderful guest today who's been working behind the scenes in the community. And I think a person that you should know, because a lot of times we have people that are working quietly and a lot of people don't know who they are because they're busy helping people. And that's one of the things that we like to do through Wings of Love, is to bring people that are actually very much involved in the community and helping families do things that they otherwise would have thought they cannot do. So I want to welcome Maria Valdez today, and she's from Robo Realty Group, and she's been working with customers for a long time, but I will let her tell you more about it. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, ELSA. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
It's exciting because a lot of times people lose faith in being able to purchase a home and having what they want for their families. You know, that one place where you want your kids to grow up, and the school and all of those, details that really comprise the family unit and that bring change to the dynamic of the family. Yeah. But tell us a little bit more about what you've been doing in the Latino community, trying to help families just here locally make a difference. Because a lot of times, I know you've been educating them. How is it that you educate them so that they can actually make the dream come true?
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes behind it, right? It's easy to say like, oh, this is what we do now, but let me give you a little bit of a backstory of why and where, right? Yes. So I tend to pride myself on creating a lot of programming based on my own personal experiences, right? And those experiences have really shaped who I am today and why I'm able to do what we're doing today. Just like everyone else, we go through roller coaster rides in life, right? I mean, yes. I remember when I got married early and then experienced divorce and became a single mom, and then trying to figure out the best life I can give my daughters, right? Making them strong and independent. And then me personally, like figuring out who I was, right? And how do I start all over again to make things happen for us? Right. So the thing that I can say is that I've been truly blessed, right? That I've been able to accomplish a very, very good support system. And that's what we need, right? In our lives, someone to support us, someone to be our biggest cheerleader, right? Someone to say, hey, you can do this. You put in the work and anything is possible. That's what I had in these last 25 years. I still have those amazing mentors who started with me way back in the day. And I can say I was a rebel. So it took them a lot of shaping and molding for me to be this person I am today. Yeah. So before real estate, I worked in a non-for-profit setting. So I really just focus on education, resources, and supporting our underserved communities. My community back in the day was the Logan Square, Humboldt Park, and Hermosa area. I worked with a not-for-profit there that worked in several Chicago public schools. And so having access to parents and being able to create something for them, right? I saw that out of all the programs that we created for the community, the impact of having just the correct information, right? Access to resources that can change people's lives and help them become this homeowner, right? So
Yes.
Roadway Realty Group is not really an old company, but I am an old dog to the community, right? So Roadway Realty Group was created in February of 2021. And it was born out of that same desire to continue serving the community, but in a different way. I find that we're very unique because we blend real estate with a deep commitment to the community. The same passion drives our real estate approach, right, in our company. We're not just about transactions. We're about providing that meaningful support, especially for the underrepresented communities. And so we're just so happy that we're able to do that. We also set ourselves apart in focusing on legacy. You know, our legacy that we leave behind is very important, right? Our company is rooted in the idea that homeownership isn't just about today. It's about building something that's going to last, right, for future generations. We care deeply about helping our clients achieve, of course, their homeowner goals, but also creating that legacy for their families and communities. So it really isn't just about real estate. It's about what happens then and thereafter, right? So I have been out in the community doing a lot of workshops, right? Free workshops, because honestly, I feel like no one teaches us. No one gives us the tools, right, to learn how to prepare for the future. You know, in my personal journey, I've encountered so many horrific things that have happened. And had I known before, maybe I would have not gone different paths, right? And so this is what we do. We just create a safe space where we're focused on creating a series of workshops, right? Important topics that mean everything to families, right? And we're ensuring that we're trying to empower them through the home buying process. Because if you look at renting versus buying, there's so much that you could do once you have your home, right?
Exactly.
And so we really, we were doing workshops at NEIU, and we were focusing on DACA, right? And teaching them many different things, right? Because the question I get is, I'm interested in buying, how do I get there? Where do I start?
But DACA has been one of those things that has been up and down. And a lot of homeowners are DACA recipients, and they've been through the ringer when it comes to purchasing that home.
Yeah, even the I-10s, my I-10 families.
Yes.
Like it's, there's not a lot of programs out there for them. So it's just trying to see, what options, right, they have. Because I have a lot of them that say, well, I can't purchase home because I'm I-10. And I'm like, well, who told you that? Right. Because you can purchase a home. Right. So,
and that's the point about the education, because this is very, very crucial for these people, that if they don't know and they don't have an awareness and there isn't somebody to get the word out, they just assume, I can't do this. This is not going to happen for me. When in reality, there are many options still out there.
There is. We really start from the basics with our families. We want them to understand this is what everything entails in starting your real estate journey, right? We have to look at several things. Let's talk about credit, right? Understanding that we need credit for everything, to purchase a home, to purchase a car, to get student loans, like everything, credit cards, right? And so we're not taught this. I wish we were taught this at an early age. Right, because I remember when I was working in the schools, I worked primarily with 7th and 8th graders. And that was my focus, bringing in life skills, right, into the programming that we had. So credit was a topic that they're like, whoa, wait, what do you mean, right? And so I fast forward, because I was in the schools probably like 10 years ago in Logan Square. And having my students go through credit workshops and just stuff like that, and talking about how to become entrepreneurs, right? And how to learn about finances, right? About what are we going to need to do now in order to be successful in the future when we're adults. So a lot of, again, my experiences have really helped to shape and mold these workshops. I mean, even after the purchase of the home, it doesn't stop there,
No.
right? It does not. We have to protect our assets, right?
Exactly.
Do we know how to do that? No, we don't know, right? We don't know about estate planning. We don't know the difference between a will and a trust, right?
Right.
We don't know that there's all these things that we can put in motion now so that we don't have to worry about it later. So another part is preparing for the unexpected.
Right.
It's simple conversations that are not being spoken about. For us Latinos, and I know because I come from a big Latino family, and it's a taboo to talk about death.
Exactly.
Right?
And yet our families, I hate to say it, there's a death and there's going to be a GoFundMe because nobody did the estate planning, not even got a life insurance policy, something so basic and so needed.
Yeah,
and it's in every family.
Yeah. And it's just understanding what products are out there, what we can use, right? Like long-term versus, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I've created a team of professionals, and these are professionals that I personally have worked with. I do not like referring anyone that I don't know that they're going to take care of these families, because my families are like my families. A lot of my clients are parents and families of the schools that I worked at many years ago. Some of my students are purchasing. I just had one of my students, a few years ago, like, hey, I remember everything you told me in middle school about credit. Can you run my credit? I need to buy a home for me and my parents, right? Fast forward 4 years after, here she is buying another investment property. So we're teaching these kids to start investing now, right? And so,
but it needs to be taught just like any other subject in school.
Correct.
And we don't one of the things that I don't get, and I'm just going to date myself right now by saying we used to have home ec when I was in high school. What happened to those important priorities that we had back in the day? And then it got slashed out. They didn't continue it. And yes, I love the idea of liberal arts. However, that piece, the home ec piece, should never have been eliminated, because it also took out a lot of those basics that we were taught.
Well, I think financial literacy is huge. I remember growing up, and my parents worked very hard, 2 jobs, to send us to private schools, but they never talked about opening an account, right? Checking versus savings, IRAs, this is stuff that I've grown to run into in my life, right? When I was working, and they're like, okay, you get a 401k. And I'm like, well, what's that, right? Or what can that be used for? A lot of people don't know they can use that as a down payment kind of assistance for them, right? And so it really is fun going out there, because I feel that just eye-opening experiences during these workshops. Right. And they're just so eager to learn more about it. Right. And I'm like, hey, these are free. Take advantage. Right. Take advantage of the knowledge that I've learned, because all I'm doing is paying it forward. Because once upon a time, I was taught, by mentors that I still have around me. And so that's all we're doing, is just paying that forward, because all we want to do is empower our clients and make sure they have the tools and the knowledge to succeed for themselves, but also for their kids. I always say, we can plan for vacations, we plan for weddings, we plan for quinceañeras. I'm planning for my baby's 3-year-old presentación, ¿verdad? Why can't we plan for life insurance?
Exactly. Right. What about writing that will? Or the advance directive? What if something happens? What if you're not 100% healthy? What happens then?
Right. What if you have little ones, right? And something happens to you? What then? Who do they go to? Right. Just leaving directives, or knowing, or power of attorneys to responsible individuals that will follow out your plans, right? And so, unfortunately, I've had to learn that the hard way. My mom passed right before the COVID shutdown. Thankfully, we were okay, but I was thinking the whole time, had we not been okay financially, I would have been asking for loans or something just to bury my mom, right? It's bad enough. There's all this grief, right, that we're going through, and you don't have, and then add on that you can't pay to bury someone. Like, it's simple things that we can do now, right?
And you could be ready for it if it happens versus having your head in terrible grief and then on top of it, a financial burden.
Yeah, no, it's hard. Last year, I don't know, for some reason, there was a lot of people around me that were passing. And again, we didn't, have policies. We didn't know where to start. And I kind of took it upon myself to help them because I know I've been there and done it. And so I just like being out there and helping out the clients. And it's not just real estate. Everyone that knows me in the Logan Square and Mozart, Home Park, they don't even know me as Maria Valdez. They still call me Trejo from my previous name. And so they know that I worked with this non-for-profit and that I still have those relationships, right, with other organizations that might help them, get an appointment for immigration, right, if they need help with paperwork, for health centers, right, low income, that'll help our families. So all these connections, I tell my clients, if there's anything you need besides real estate, let me know because I probably have a connection and we can connect you to them. I do have a lot of clients too who are self-employed and they're just working.
Exactly. Right? And you know what? In my view, the Latino homeowner is a whole different dynamic from your conventional or traditional home buyer.
Yeah.
We're talking very different things that will affect. I remember when, we had that whole situation of ICE picking people up and they were like, how are these people going to leave behind their properties? Because they have kids that are U.S. Citizens. And then you have the parent that is considered the immigrant or the person that might not be fully documented in the country. So the dynamic of the Latino family as the homeowner is a whole different dynamic than in other communities.
Most definitely. And I feel like nothing is easy, right? Nothing is easy, but nothing is impossible. Especially when you have someone that's kind of guiding you, right? And so that's what we do. I'm not one of those agents where I'm just going to send you off, right, to a lender. No, I sit down with you. I explain the process. I break it down. Expectations are put on the table. We talk about finances. Where are you at? Do you even know what your credit score is? No, they're like, we don't know. And so there's a lot of behind the scenes that are happening one family at a time, right? We work on strengthening credit scores. We work on reviewing finances, loan options, right? So, sometimes I hear comments out there in the field about realtors and I was like, well, I don't know which ones you're talking about because I know what I do with my families and my agents also do, right? They really sit down and explain to them step by step. There's many times that I've had clients come to me and say, hey, and can I meet with you? So I'll go with my presentation if it's a buyer or seller, right, or a renter, because, sometimes we need to rent and do what we have to do, and then we'll be ready. So we always create timelines. We always I create challenges for my clients. We do check-ins, right? And so thankfully, I work with a team that really cares about my families because I'm not going to lie, my family situations are always difficult. I could say out of my whatever amount of years I'm working that maybe 2 or 3 have been like smooth, easy peasy. Yeah. All the other ones I sweat. I think I get more canas from this.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it takes a lot of hand holding, right? A lot of patience. A lot of patience because sometimes your clients aren't ready at that moment, right? I've invested possibly up to 2 years with family, right? And I'm like, I'm with you until we get the keys to your home, right? And then you're not going to see me stop there. There's an after. Like, I'm going to be that guide for you forever. And so luckily, I've been blessed with so many families that refer me their families or their friends, right? Because they're like, she's the one. She's going to talk you through it. She's going to hold your hand and you will get your home, right? So I'm like, as long as we do what we have to do, we will get there. But, if I'm going to make the effort, I need you to also make the effort and we can make this happen because I'm a true believer of anything is possible.
Right.
Anything.
The key element is always the education. These are the crucial pieces that need to be known and understood. I mean, people need to understand what they're doing, but once they get the understanding, then then you get the engine going.
Yeah.
And then, you can take it in different directions. And I do know that when we had the COVID situation, they said the number of renters increased because so many people were not in the same position after COVID.
Yeah.
So,
with work but even though all that was happening, I had some families trudging through, and I actually sold the most properties in that year during that COVID. Yeah. And it was just so hard. And then for those that, work slowed down and that, we put it on the pause, but we got right back on it, right? As soon as they began to recover. Yeah. But again, that's just the hard work my family's put in order to make their dreams a reality. So I'm just happy that we're along their side, kind of guiding them and helping them achieve those goals. And so again, that's why, I've been really busy with clients, but now I'm taking it back into the community again. And we've already set up workshops, right? And we have a series of them that we're going to do. We work with DACA, with ITIN, credit, right? Planning for the unexpected, working with financial planners, just explaining the difference between term and whole life, right? Like what makes more sense, right?
Right.
I didn't know. I'm a huge TikToker at night and just getting bits and pieces from stuff, right? Because I can never believe everything on TikTok.
And you can't, then you should.
Right. So, if I see something, I send it to my financial planner. I'm like, is this true? And if it is, why am I not doing this? Right. So I love that I'm gathering bits and pieces from here and there and then creating this, workshop so that if I understand, I'm able to explain it too, but I like bringing in the professionals because that's not my profession, financial planning, right? And so I like bringing in those experts to work together with our families and start helping them achieve financial freedom. So when they're older, right? I don't know where Social Security is going to be when we're.
I don't know if this generation is going to get any, to be honest with you, but let's see what happens. We don't know. I mean, I was just reading an article that, Generation X, which I am, like, we're not going to have retirement. Like, the retirement is going to be farther and farther away than a lot of people, of the prior generation. The baby boomers were retiring much younger than our generation will be, and it makes a huge difference.
Oh, most definitely. And that's why we continue doing what we're doing. It's just bringing awareness, creating a space to talk about it, giving them options, and then it's up to you to take it, right? Like we can't force you. We're giving you the info. You do it, you don't. But as long as I can give you out, and it's free info. Like it's free. I always say, because nothing is free in life. Let me tell you.
Right.
When I get clients saying like, oh, I get free money for being a first-time home buyer, I'm like, there's always something attached to that.
Yeah,
nothing is free, right? There's always something behind it. So let's talk about what that looks like, right?
Yeah,
because sometimes our expectations are fogged by what we see on social media.
Yes.
Or like I always get my friends, oh, la comadre dijo, I'm like,
take that with a grain of salt.
I was like, well, let's talk to a professional and see what they say, right?
Yeah,
I was like, we won't know until we actually sit down and find out. So again, we're so excited because this month we're working with several organizations. We're going to be out in the community just doing free goodies, but giving free information, providing resources to the community members. We set up workshops in schools, right?
So where are these workshops located? So if our community decides, our audience that's watching, they decide, okay, well, let me look into it. Where can they look into some of these workshops? Where are they located?
So right now we're still getting the schedule. Some are private, but some will be public. So we're hoping I'm hoping to be a lot more techier this fall. Mm-hmm. And so even if we do something virtually, right, and just getting in everyone's phone, right, getting in everyone's face and just saying, but we will be announcing all that in our website and our social media pages. We're really excited. I know October 14th, we're going to be in Logan Square. One of my very good friends who is an ally in the community, who is like my behind the scenes go-to community relations person, she created Mercadito. And so I'm going to take it back old school, and we're going to have a table there. We're going to do prizes and raffles, and we're just going to have fun. We're going to be dressed in Dia de los Muertos Catrines. And so we're really excited. We're working with another organization that we did make connections over the summer. And so they're like, hey, we want you to come in and do credit, right? We want you to talk about financial literacy. Let's talk about estate planning, because we don't know, right? And so, but we will make everything public as soon as we finish putting together a calendar. And so we're hoping that even if there are people out there that want, a workshop to their job or to the schools, to the organizations, we're available for that. And so, in real estate, there is no days off.
Never, ever. What's the website that people could go to?
So they can go to www.roblerealtygroup.com.
Okay, perfect.
They can reach out or go on our Facebook page, Roble Realty Group. We have an Instagram, Roble Realty Group. Find us. We're going to be sharing all that information on all the social media sites. And so if anyone's interested in free workshops, let us know. If there's something specifically you want, let us know. We can create a program or a workshop catered to your families or audience.
Yeah, because certain families have different things that they really need. I mean, it's different. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like the Latino market is very different. The needs of the Latino market are not your average, cookie cutter type of things. It's different.
Yeah, it really is. I'm like, hey, mis Latinos, I love them to death. I'm like, hey, I know it. Like my parents were, my dad was an immigrant from another country. Like I know what it is to save $1. Like I know the hardships, right? And so we're not going to let you go through something where you're going to lose money, right? And so again, yes, all my minority groups, I feel like we're not taught what we need to be taught. And so that's why we go out there and just do what we do. And if it helps one person, we're good, right?
And if they can pass it on to more people and, pay it forward,
I always tell my clients that I help, or my friends that I help, I have a lot of self-employed, right? We see that a lot more, right? And so they're like, how can I, apply for an LLC? This person is charging me so much money just to do it. I says, literally, I can do it for you in 5 minutes, and all you got to pay is the fee. Right to the state. I was like, not a big deal. And they're like, oh, how can I help? I was like, just pay it forward. I send them the links. I show them. If anyone ever needs it, send them the link and show them what you did, right? And so they did that. We need to stay together and help each other, right? Because this is the only way we're all going to progress. Because there's enough for everyone, let me tell you.
Exactly. There's enough for everyone. Go around. I always say that. There's always enough love to go around. And I think that if everybody, kind of unites as a community, that's going to be really.
Most definitely. The other thing too is let's not be gatekeepers of resources, right? Because that's only taking away the community's power. I'm a true believer of that. And so that's why we do what we do. And we just go out there and spread the love.
And that's what I say. I mean, this is my camp. But if I know of a resource, I'm going to be sharing it. You know, if I know of something that might help and benefit somebody else, then here I am. I'm sharing it with the community. And and if I hear about people that are doing things to benefit our community, well, then that's the people that I want to bring on my program. You know, because I want all of these things to be shared in the community and for people to be able to get the help that they need.
No, and I see in your shows and your broadcasts, like you bring a lot of amazing people just sharing the stuff that they're doing. And that's what we just need to do, is just keep helping each other and challenging each other, right? Because nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. So,
but when we support each other, you know, we support each other on these things, and it just makes such a huge difference. I know that one of the things that you had mentioned to me in a conversation that we had was just helping more Latinas become entrepreneurs. And real estate is really, you know, an entrepreneurship type of business.
There is just so much that anyone can do. Like, I feel like I have a million things that I can possibly do, right? But let's just focus on our passions, you know. And so we live in a world where it's man dominated, right? And we need to see a lot of our Latinas come up and start doing that, right? And being successful. But when you get there, help others. Right? Help others get to there as well, right? And so it's just a community of networking, of praising, of, you know, helping
each other up, you know. You got to lift each other up, you know, not beat each other down.
We really do. We really do. We really have to be there for each other. So, yeah, that's another huge thing, is like I'm very much like I've went through my downfalls and learned and had several companies. And so, but just because one doesn't work out doesn't mean I'm not going to stop fighting, and I'm not going to stop doing what I love, right?
Exactly.
Which is helping people, helping women. I help everyone, pero mis mujeres, like,
right?
You know, I was a single parent. I was going through, you know, a lot of hardship.
Yeah, we've been there. We know what it's like, and it's like we know what, you know, las otras comadres are going through. We just know, you know, and you know, just being able to extend them a hand.
Yeah, and I always tell my families, don't be scared. Don't be scared to fail, because that's how we learn, right?
So, you know what they say, we get los raspones and, you know, you shake it off and get back up.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay, well, in closing, because we're running out of time, what would you like to say to our community?
I just want to say, you know, if you have a dream, dreams do come true. If you need someone to help you, guide you, hold you by your hand, we are here to do that for you. There is no charge. I mean, if you buy or don't buy, you know, it doesn't matter, right? We're just here opening our hearts. We're opening ourselves to give that knowledge, and having, you know, communities and families understand what they're doing and how to do it, right? So we are here whenever you need us.
All right. Well, with that said, we're going to have to say goodbye, and we're going to have to invite everybody to come back next time that we do the next session. So thank you so much, Maria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elsa. Have a great
for sharing all the beautiful resources and the work that you do. Thank you very much. And hopefully down the road, you'll come back and we'll be talking about some other things that you are doing in the community. You know?
Nice. Yes, most definitely.
Share with the community, you know, whatever new project and whatever, you know, that might come up. So thank you very much for having been on Wings of Love. And to everybody, thank you very much for always supporting Wings of Love and you know, being able to share this information. Please share the video, share this information with other people in the community that may, or families that you know may benefit from this. Please share. And with that said, I'm going to be saying goodbye for now, and we'll see you till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Hasta aquí llegamos con nuestra programación en vivo. Gracias por tu sintonía. Dimensión Latina.